I've been reading Dostoevsky's The Brothers Karamazov recently. There are two major instances thus far that talk about the preciousness of children. The character Ivan argues with Alyosha about his religious views by first laying a base of the purity of children. He talks about how they come into the world innocent and uncorrupted, almost divine-like. They have yet to eat from the fruit of good and evil. Later in a memoir, the character Zazima also talks about the purity and innocence of children. Personally, I've had many conversations with parents who mention that their understanding of unconditional love is absolutely blown out of the water when they have a child. They reminisce about how they never thought they could love anything to the extent that they now love their kids. People in general, and perhaps morally, should be very protective of children. Ashton Kutcher founded an organization called Thorn, which fights child exploitation. Socio-political commentators like Paul Joseph Watson and Sargon of Akkad have both made lengthy videos laying out information against child sex rings and other conspiracies of pedophilia. Harmful Opinions, before his channel was wiped, had at least 4, if not more, videos decrying any encroaching normalization of pedophilia. Despite any criticism toward these individuals, I think any information exposing child trafficking and child exploitation should be taken as seriously as possible, regardless of the presenter. Where am I going with this? Well, I feel it's widely agreed upon that children are incredibly precious to humanity, but I want to come back to what Ivan said to Alyosha in The Brothers Karamazov. As I said previously, Ivan lays the basis of his argument against God by talking about the innocence of children. His next point is that suffering exists. Humans can be quite good at making others suffer, if not artistic in that medium. Ivan then tells story after story after story about children who suffer horrendously. You almost can't imagine the cruelty. I know you can put 2 and 2 together, so I'm just gonna let you know I'm not making an argument against God. But this does bring me nicely to our focus of this video, AbuserO5. Frankly, I'm not gonna show you any of the footage from their videos. Number 1, because fuck the parents. Number 2, because you can see the footage elsewhere. I recommend Philly D's videos on the topic, but Mr. Metokur recently just made a video of compiled clips as well, if you prefer a little more sarcasm. The links are below. And number 3, because the footage makes me sick to an extreme extent. It's like, I don't know, I want to say soul crushing. I had to skip around when other YouTubers added clips of the family. But I did watch the video that got them in trouble, the Invisible Ink one, or at least as much as I could stomach. The mother screaming at the kid, and the kid crying. Well, I can definitely say it fueled this video. I don't want to stare at this footage for hours while trying to edit it. I also want to spare you a soundless montage of cruelty. If you want to watch the original content, or listen to people dissect what happens in them and what that implies, again, check out Philly D's videos, Mr. Metokur's video, or Boogie talking about this subject. Or just search AbuserO5. There are plenty of others on this subject as well as video mirrors. Because, yes, all of their original videos were wiped from the channel. Sounds innocent to me, motherfucker. Look at that. They have over 700,000 subscribers. That wasn't within the last week when this shit all blew up. That was over the course of the channel's life, which began in August 13, 2015. 700,000 people. I know that no channel consistently has views that reflect subscriber count, but let's assume that each video got a minimum of 150,000 views. That's 150,000 people whom I'm going to make 2 presumptions about. The first presumption is that their moral compass is fucked. Nothing about the content made them second guess whether or not what they saw was okay. How? I really don't get it. 700,000 motherfuckers, dude. Number 2 is a bit more of an accusational stretch, but I don't really care. Number 2 is that these 150,000 viewers enjoyed watching children in pain and distress. Yep. I'm kind of thinking that that's hardly a stretch. They probably justified with, but my planks blow. The kids hurt each other, and the father hurts the kids, at least in the clips that Philly D provided. Was this absolutely consistent, or merely cherry-picked clips from their channel? I'm not doing that digging, I'm sorry. I'm not really doing my job as an all-seeing eye of Horus right now. Honestly, it really doesn't matter because what's there is there. Either way, AbuserO5's content has some almost evil undertones. I think Ivan Fyodorevich Karamazov would agree with me, particularly in the cases of the boy Cody. From what I've seen, he has endured a large focus of the abuse, or is at least handling it the worst. I imagine that school isn't terribly friendly to him either. Then he comes home and is the focus of physical and emotional abuse. How does he handle having zero safe territory and no avenue for his emotions? Well, according to a deleted video where Cody's parents say that he's the only one not going to Disneyland, he smears poop on the wall. Think about how far this boy has been pushed. Think about how this child never feels safe and may resent his parents down to his core. Resentment can be devastating if allowed to ferment. I'm scared that perhaps the damage has been done, since it doesn't seem like he'll be getting the help he needs. On to the parents. I know very little about them, but I have caught glimpses of obvious issues. They're both unintelligent. Watch any two interviews with them, their stories and justifications change constantly, and they're not well spoken. Neither of them possess any amount of self-awareness. These people sift through footage, edit it, and then decide it's still okay to post, which makes it blatantly obvious that they have no awareness of how their actions come off to other people. Though I suppose the 700,000 motherfuckers subscribed to them don't really count. I hate when people lack any self-awareness. It allows people like AbuserO5 to contradict themselves mid-stride. Anyway, yeah, AbuserO5's family perpetuates unnecessary suffering. Plain and simple. Thank goodness he documented it. Actually, I can't even say plain and simple. Their whole pranking thing, assuming it was most of their content, is artistic abuse. It's creative suffering inflicted on innocent children. I hope accusations and investigations are pushed heavily against the parents. That's all I can hope for.